Do you know what I like to do on Fridays? You guys know what I like to do. All right, I reholdered a few cards, and I just thought I'd go through and show them to you. Some unique stuff here, some stuff maybe you haven't seen before. So first, I have a 1961 7-Eleven Jimmy Fox. Here's a 1968 American Oil Willie Mays. These came attached. There were 2 cards per attachment, so this one was separated. I reholdered some of my batter up cards. Here is Leo DeRocher, a fantastic card. And here's Lloyd Wainer, Little Poison. Here's another card of his. And for those of you who aren't familiar with these cards, I want to point out something. The higher numbered ones are smaller. So I have 2 of the smaller ones here that I reholdered. And when you first get these, if you're not familiar with them, you might think they're trimmed or something like that, but they're not. The high numbered ones are smaller. Almost dropped that. And the high numbers aren't very high. It's not like 3rd series for Topps in 72 or something. But anyway, that's the deal with those, and they're more scarce. The higher numbers are more scarce. Here is Chick Hafey, a Hall of Famer who doesn't get a whole lot of love. Al Simmons. And Jimmy Dykes. One of those good players from the era that's not in the Hall of Fame, but a good player. Here I have some 1972. I've shown these before, like a whole bunch. I have a bunch of these, but I reholdered these 3. These are 1972 NFL stamps. Joe Green, Mean Joe, Terry Bradshaw, and Andy Russell. We just lost him not so long ago. And I was fortunate enough to be able to FaceTime with him shortly before his passing. This is one of the coolest cards. So I'm going to show you a few hockey cards now. I just think this is one of the coolest rookie cards around. This is a 3D dual rookie card from 2006 of Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby. And I have 2 of them, and the 3D effect is opposite. It goes in the opposite direction, so I can view both players at one time with these. And I just discovered this. Really cool. I don't have to, if I hold them up together, I don't have to move it around for the 3D effect. Get one of each. That's pretty cool. All right, I got a Patrick Kane here, a piece of his jersey. And this is a cool card I was excited to get many years ago, but this is from 2006, and this is Jordan Staal, Sidney Crosby, and Malkin, and it's numbered to 25. That's the rookie patches of all 3 of those guys. Now I have a friend who played in the Penguins system in Johnstown, PA, and when the Penguins got these guys, I'll never forget it. We were like the worst team in the league. And he came to visit in South Carolina, and we were out at a bar. I still remember where I was when he told me that within 2 years, the Penguins would be in the Stanley Cup. And I told him he was crazy. But he was right. These guys changed the team. And that's what makes it a special card for me. And here's a Malkin with a piece of his stick. And this is a great card. Marc-Andre Fleury. Jersey piece there. Love this card. I was wearing that throwback jersey in a recent video. This is a Mario Lemieux, and this is an action-packed prototype test card. They made 3 of these in hockey that I'm aware of. I have a Wayne Gretzky in my display, and then there's also a Steve Yzerman I would like to get. And they made them for other sports too. So, as I'm sure you guys know, they only made the action-packed regular cards for football, but they did do a few prototype tests in other sports. Another one I have is Sugar Ray Leonard that they did for boxing. And this is a box bottom of Mario Lemieux. Love to get the box bottoms from this era because the regular cards are so common. So this is a way to make really, the overproduced eras to pick up some cards that are a little bit more exciting to have. Makes it fun. And then I have this this autographed card from Mario. When Mario was coming back from back surgery, I happened to be in Montreal at that time. And so I was at the airport to catch my flight. And there was another guy who was at the convention that I got to know. And we were talking. And I looked over, and there's Mario standing right across the way. And I asked the guy, I said, "Are you a hockey fan by chance?" And he said, "No, but my son is." And I said, "Well, your son would know who that is over there. That's Mario Lemieux." And so I get to talking to somebody else, and he walks away. And I'm talking, and a little bit later, he comes up and he hands me a little miniature hockey stick. And he says, "Here you go. I got this signed, one for you and one for my son." So there was a hockey store in the Montreal airport right near where we were. And I didn't even notice, but he walked into that store, bought 2 Penguins mini sticks. They had a nice white blade. And he walked over and had them signed and brought it to me. Now, at that time, I had a first-class ticket back to Pittsburgh. And there were only 4 seats in first class for US Air at that time. And so, who was in first class with me? Mario Lemieux. So I got to fly back with him back to Pittsburgh after he got his back surgery. And I remember telling my friends, I said, "This guy's never going to play again." Because I had seen him at the airport at the gate, and he couldn't sit down or stand up. He could barely move. But I guess his surgery was fresh, and he most certainly did come back. Now, I didn't really get to see Wayne Gretzky play. I didn't really get to watch him. But I watched the Penguins play during the Mario era all the time. Watched every game of both Stanley Cups. Watched the All-Star games with him. And he is the greatest I have ever watched. Period, hands down, end of discussion. So that's what I have for you. As always, thanks for hanging out with me.